Hello, hello, and welcome back. We have returned from about a year and a half hiatus. It is Eurosteppin. How are you, Donald?
We are stepping, man. How about you?
Eurosteppin. I've stepped not well lately. I have a broken toe,
That's
so the
a good point.
Eurostep has not been clean.
My dog can't step anymore.
No. Um, but yeah, sports. They're a thing. They're cool. Um, would you like to talk some college football?
uh, I feel like that's something we have the least of, so I feel like that's a good starting point.
Mhm.
Or would you rather play who am I first?
No, I like that last.
Okay. All right. So we can start with the NCAA college football, aka the NIL gold mine, as I
Mhm.
like to call it. Um, I basically have written down who do we think having winning a natty way too early. It's not even like a good time to even do anything. Have they even done spring games yet?
It's always a good time. No.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So we haven't even gotten through the full transfers because there's still gonna be people leaving after spring games. Haven't even gotten through spring games. Um, but my way too early national champion, I am gonna be sort of biased here. I'm gonna pick LSU.
I thought it was gonna be UCF.
Hell no, no, bro. They already have one.
Yeah.
They already have
UCF
one. We
has
can't let them
one.
out too. No, I don't know. I just feel like LSU. I mean, a lot of schools made a lot of really good moves, so it's not like they made anything like more splash worthy. I would say, but Sam Levitt was a big pickup.
I'd say it's the biggest quarterback pickup.
Would you say that over Sorsby in Texas Tech? Because I feel like that's
I
also a really good
I
pickup for
think
what it
based
is.
on where he went, yes. I feel like it's gonna be the most impactful. I feel like Texas Tech has a ceiling, and
Okay,
then LSU's kind of is unknown just because Lane Kiffin going, and then all of the players they brought in that don't
coaching
know each
staff too.
other. Yeah, Charlie Weiss is there.
Yeah,
So it's a lot of anomalies with LSU. I think it's a higher ceiling than Blake Sorsby at Texas Tech, but
Brandon Sorsby.
Brandon Sorsby, B Sorsby, bro.
B Sorbs.
Um, but yeah, I think he will have a higher impact there.
And you can thank me for dragging you to that random Cincinnati UCF
I
game
know
a
I
couple
saw
years ago.
Sorsby. I don't even remember.
We got
I
to
remember
see
that tight end
Sorsby.
was cooking the ad. I don't remember who it was.
I forgot, but Sorsby and that tight end. I remember they were. Was it like a fourth quarter comeback or something?
Something they
But they,
cooked.
they were putting up some numbers, man.
Mm.
But yeah, just a little cool tidbit. But yeah, I got LSU. I just feel like with how the transfer portal is, still it not technically being over, people could still leave, people could still come in at this point. I just think LSU has a really good shot. As you said, the coaching staff is healthy. I just feel really good about my team that I grew up watching.
Mm.
So yeah. What about you? How do you feel? Who you got?
I wanted to talk a little bit more about LSU because it's not just offensive. Like they didn't just get better
Right.
offensively. If I can even find it, what the hell? Why is it showing me 2025? We're in the year 2026.
Why not?
But what was that edge that they got? They got that like crazy good edge.
Honestly, the portal's been so hard to keep up with. Like, I really can't tell you who went where. Besides, like me personally, I like to focus on quarterbacks, running backs, and receivers.
Yeah.
Those are really the positions I like to watch. As I'm more of like an offensive minded kind of football guy.
Mhm.
I would say
There it is.
you are way more defensively knowledgeable than I am.
They got
Especially with the players.
They got Prince Will to come from Ole Miss, the edge. He's like one of the best edge rushers. He'll be
Okay.
there next year.
Okay.
Along with that, they got Tennessee's Jordan Ross, who's a really good edge rusher. So they have an amazing pass rush. They help back it up by getting Boise State's Ty Benenfield as a safety and another one in Fahim Delane from Ohio State. Like
Fahim.
they didn't just improve their offense. Lane Kiffin, and I mean any offensive head coach will need a defense to back him up.
Right.
Definitely in the SEC, and two edges and safeties make sure you can't get beat short and make sure you can't get beat deep. Really, it depends on the linebackers and cornerbacks, which are pretty good there
I was
at
gonna say-
LSU to begin with. to just guard that middle of the field stuff.
I
But
say they were able to keep a lot of good big names that they did kind of have.
yeah,
I don't know if Perkins in the draft this
Harold
year.
Perkins
Yeah.
is coming back
Okay. Yeah.
because he was
So,
a sophomore, I think, last year. True.
jeez, man, I feel like I don't know who's what anymore.
Mhm.
But we got Perkins. Weeks is still there on the defense. He might throw up a couple times for you on defensively, but he'll definitely play hard. Yeah, they just look good on top of the additions that you brought up. So
Yeah, I mean, why take a Tylenol when you can take a perk?
what is that supposed to mean?
You never heard Kendrick Perkins say that shit?
Oh, I did hear that.
He heard that from someone else, and then he heard that shit. He's like, I'm gonna use that too.
Man, yeah, but man tried to spit game
He
on
did.
national
Talking
television.
about popping a perk, bro.
Popping up Kendrick Perkins is horrible, man.
But mine that I'm keeping an eye on is once again Indiana. I
Okay.
think Indiana will probably be there again. I think they're a better team than they were last year, in all areas besides maybe the defense. But offensively, I think they're really good. With that, actually, I'll talk about it after. But they have, once again, not a strong schedule. I know people are going to pick on them for that. The only big marquee games they have are at home against Ohio State, USC. Their big road game is Washington. Michigan, if you want to count them, is also a road game, but I'm very confused with the state of Michigan right now.
I would just say off branding, I would still count them as a big opponent because the thing with Michigan, they'll still definitely get players.
Yeah.
It's just their coaching staff is always, I feel like, under turmoil.
I mean, Bryce Underwood's a great quarterback. I'm not
Yeah.
going to just take next season away from Michigan because they have
Of
Bryce
course.
going into his sophomore year.
Right.
It's just, it obviously is a very confusing time with a franchise when your coach stalks and does all these illegal things.
I don't even know the dude's name anymore. I forgot, but they did get Kyle Whittington out of Utah.
They did. But that man was
Long-
literally ready to retire as
he
well on
was-
top of it all.
Hey, you never know. He could have a new just change of heart over here at Michigan.
A change of heart after 22, however many years at Utah.
Listen, once he hears Mr. Brightside play during the third quarter going into the fourth, it's just gonna bring new life into
He's going
this
to be
man.
jacked, bro.
I'm telling you, bro.
But going into some of their transfers, obviously Josh Hoover, the biggest one, coming from TCU, that quarterback. They teamed him up with Nick Marsh from Michigan State, who he's just, I don't know if you've seen him.
Nick Marsh, yeah, he's like
insane.
He's
He's
like
6'3".
6'5".
He's 6'3".
6'3",
6'3", big frame guy,
Yeah,
insane
solid.
athleticism. He's going to have one of the best 40 times whenever he does go into the combine. He's probably going to also top wide receivers in vertical leap. Uber athleticism with a humongous frame for wide receiver. To just go with Josh Hoover, who is a great, accurate quarterback. He's not... maybe his, athleticism is comparable to Mendoza, where neither of them are scrambling by design, but they just know when they do need to run. On top of that, I really like another addition on offense in Turbo Richard from Boston College.
Please tell me this man's a running back.
He is a running back. I do like him a lot. Just looking at his final two games in Boston College, because he didn't get the primary carries there.
BC, okay.
So he had, in those last two games, against ranked Georgia Tech and at Syracuse, so games that could be a little bit difficult, definitely Georgia Tech, he had 26 carries, 243 yards, and 4 touchdowns in those two games.
All right, solid.
So he ended the season off incredibly well, and I think in the transfer portal he was considered a 3-star running back. I think he's a very underrated guy, also with a name like Turbo. I think it's just going to be a good fit there, and obviously they have a lot of depth at running back, but I think that was one thing about Indiana that really Kurt Cignetti's done great, is that every layer of depth plays a role, and every layer of depth comes in and truly helps that team. And then defensively too, they got 2 good edge rushers in my mind. I don't know how to say it. It's like Toby Asunasami, I think,
Asunasami.
from
Tsunami.
Kansas State, and Joshua Burnham from Notre Dame. I think those are two good additions. Burnham's going to be more of a starter. Asunasami, I think, is more of a depth piece that will work into a starter role. And then just further, they have to replace Pons at cornerback. They tried to do that a little bit with A.J. Harris from Penn State. I think it will work. He's not as good as Pons, obviously. Pons is very elite talent, but it is someone to try and fill that gap that Pons is leaving. So my pick is Indiana. Going with that too, I think my Heisman pick is Josh Hoover. So I think Indiana's repeating Heisman and national championship again.
Man said we are running it back.
Hey,
Okay.
have you Googled Kurt Signetti?
Google me.
He fucking wins, bro.
Marlboro man.
I think he's just proved year after year that he is the guy. I mean, all those years with JMU and everything, and he brought them to Division I, made them very successful. That guy just fell through the netting. We're watching Nicaragua and Netherlands, and some man has just fallen through the net.
It took everything out of me to not
That's
scream
insane.
and react to that. That is wild. But
All right.
But no, yeah, Kurt he's definitely having a run right now. I don't want to put crazy expectations in saying he's having like a Nick Saban level run, but the way he's been just coaching up at JMU in Indiana, he's definitely the guy to watch right now, no matter where he goes.
And it sucks that he's hitting this as he's like 67, however old he is. Like,
sometimes I feel like, you know what, that made me think of something. Sometimes I feel like older coaches are kind of like in their primes around it. It's not always true, but sometimes some of your best coaches are the guys that are like 60.
Yeah,
like something
Indiana's got to start getting it cooking before the dementia hits. You got to get as much as you can. Mark Cuban throwing all the money he can before that happens. But
it just confuses me with who is boosting what at this point. That's why I try to not even keep up with.
Hey, I'm just glad the billionaires are funding college students rather than politicians at the moment.
Good for them. At least they are giving these kids a bag, and they're giving them a head start on life. I cannot be mad at that. I'm just so confused as to where this money is constantly coming from. But hey, I'm not gonna question it at this point. It's not my place at this point.
I guess going back to questionable money and stuff, Texas Tech obviously has one of the biggest oil money things, which have led to their success. I think their success has actually made Big 12 one of the most interesting to watch. And I think this year the Big 12 is super interesting to watch because I think their worst team from last season has a chance to be the conference champion this year in Oklahoma State.
I feel like I'm going to agree and partially disagree with you at the same time. So I disagree that Texas Tech being the powerhouse makes the Big 12 the conference that it is, because I feel like the Big 12 is already that conference.
Well, it's a whole, but the face.
Because I feel like the Big 12 is, at least for the past maybe 4 to 5 years, you could say, like, as you said, a team that could finish dead last with a 3-9 record in that conference can just magically flip it.
Hey, they were 1-11.
Yeah. I mean, I was trying to be nice and use an example, but you could have a team as bad as them just magically be number 2 in the conference, or even number 1, win the whole thing for them. Like, I feel like that may get lost with Texas Tech being such a power that they are. I hope I'm wrong on that, and I hope that you're right on this with, like, Texas Tech somehow brings everyone up with them. But I kind of see it as Texas Tech might keep the Big 12 a little stagnant in terms of, like, we might run it for the next 2-3 years, and until someone really is able to keep up money-wise, which, off the top of my head, maybe Oklahoma is one of the schools that could do it. Houston's definitely a school that can do it. It's the same state. I don't know. I just feel like the Big 12 is kind of losing its luster a little bit, but I hope I'm wrong.
I disagree. I think Big 12 was some of the most fun football last year. I think, in my opinion, Big 12 has jumped ACC for that third best conference in NCAA.
You just hate the ACC.
It's bad. I mean, with everything on
Hey.
top of it, like the officiating, I think ACC by far had the worst officiating in all four of those top conferences.
I will agree with you there.
And Big 12 really stepped up their game where it felt like they were on level with Big 10, SEC officiating. And the officiating of games can truly make or break just watching a game. I often found myself mostly complaining about ACC football like officiating. And I didn't really ever have a dog in the race for either game. I just would get pissed, like watching all of these penalty calls just stack against one team. Even I hate Miami, and even like I was debating, like arguing some calls that Miami should have gotten, and it's like just lack of consistency, lack of all of that.
I feel like that's fair to say with most of these conferences though, but I do agree with you that at least every game we watched together, the ACC was the most glaring.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was the most glaring, like what's going on in this conference, especially officiating wise.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the Big 12 is up there, but the Big 12 I would say is up there in terms of bad officiating, but it's equal bad of officiating.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like no team really gets an advantage in like the Big 12 of officiating wise.
I don't know. I feel like they're
I just
there. I mean, they're.
I personally love the Big 12. I just want to state this. I love the Big 12. Like to me,
Yeah.
the Big 12 and the MAC are like the two most entertaining conferences in terms of just chaotic football on a week to week basis. I need it.
I think Big 12 has cleaned up a lot since their additions of all these teams.
For sure.
I think
better.
their officiating and just the level of talent they're producing is top 3 across the country, like in terms of conference and everything. But like now with Oklahoma State, like they just brought in North Texas's head coach, brought in Drew Mestmaker, that brought in Caleb Hawkins, that brought in Wyatt Young. Like their offense just got a lot better. They need to work on defense, but like even your worst team just improved a lot. I feel like you can't say that for the ACC. I feel like the ACC is the one that's like so top heavy that these 3 or 4 teams are going to be competing every year. Everybody else is just there.
I feel like until Florida State becomes a good football team again, the ACC will stay on this downward slope that they're currently on.
But I feel like
I feel like you need your powerhouses to be leading the conferences the way that they should. Like I'm not saying they need to win the conference every year. At least give me a top 4 finish.
Yeah.
At least give me a top 4 finish if you're Florida State, you're Miami, whatever. Like I don't know. I just feel like when your top teams in your conference are good, it brings up the conference with them. Like it brings up everyone else.
But I just can't see a light at the end of the tunnel for Florida State. Like
they have so many issues to work out.
They have so many issues, and the biggest one is their head coach that they don't want to fire because they're already so negative.
They're like billions,
football-wise,
like
millions, just hundreds of millions.
Oh, I thought we were getting towards the B's.
No,
honestly.
I think it's in the 200 to 300s of millions that
Yeah,
their
I knew
athletic
it was-
department is down, and obviously, if you fire Norvell, you then have to hire another coach to replace him that you're then paying the salary of,
and the whole staff.
Yeah, you gotta get rid of the staff. Luckily for them, what's that offensive coordinator's name? Malzahn retired.
Yeah,
he decided to retire instead of getting fired, which saves them some money. But at the end of the day, it still is like they have so much money in depth that they can't afford to remove Norvell.
Yeah,
and I don't think I don't believe that contract becomes affordable to buy out technically for another 2 to 3 years. But you can't go through 2 or 3 more years like this with Norvell, where it's like, hey, we re-signed him and paid him all this money, whenever it was in actuality Jordan Travis just really was good at football, specifically college football.
That makes me upset too. I wish Jordan Travis's injury never happened because I feel like he could have had a shot in the NFL. I'm not saying he would have panned out,
national championship. I feel like NFL.
That's
his floor. I mean, once if you're like he's maybe 6 foot. Like quarterback, you're very limited, and then on top of that, I feel like his arm wasn't the best. Like, he just reminds me of Tua.
At least just give him a chance. I mean, bro, if we're gonna give Tua and Kyler Murray a chance, at least Jordan could at least got a chance. At least just let him go to like training camp and just see if he makes it.
Yeah.
But
that
injuries.
That's really all I had. I mean, one more thing to add about Oklahoma State, I guess. In the portal, I mean, one of their concerns whenever we watch them too is just immediate pressure every single time. They did bring in 9 offensive linemen, like this transfer portal, to help bolster the offensive line. And, I mean, maybe all of them fail, but you got to hope at least 2 or 3 of them are starting level offensive linemen of those 9.
I was gonna say you can't fail bringing in 9 linemen, right?
But that's what it is.
It's possible, but one would hope that you at least get maybe. You at least gotta get 4 out of those 9. Right?
No, I agree. You need that.
You at least need to get 4 out of 5 of your offensive line. Okay, if you have a weak link, you deal with that. But I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I hope that Oklahoma State can return to being like just a prominent program, because when Oklahoma State's good, they're honestly fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Who was it? Like Brandon Whedon and like Justin Blackman.
Yeah.
Like that was like the last of the glory days.
That was definitely for them.
Yeah, that was like the last of the glory days. And then they had Ollie Gordon had like a little splash, but then their coach just said, "Screw you, Ollie."
How's the weather, Ollie?
It gonna rain.
But yeah, rest in peace, Ollie.
Yeah, rest in peace.
He's not actually dead, but he's not doing good in the NFL either.
Rest in peace, my granny.
And speaking of the NFL, Mr. Donald.
Yes, this is you're gonna have to carry me here because there is just so much happening.
I feel like,
especially with just teams moving people right now. But go ahead.
A bunch is going to start falling. The 11th is the start of the NFL season in the NFL's eyes. Which leads to, by the 11th, you need to be all correct with your salary cap room. So that's why you see a lot of moves happening now to be prepared for that. Goddamn. But you got to be ready for that and all. Like, yeah. The biggest part of it all right now is Max Crosby. Like, Max Crosby going to the Ravens is going to be a big piece that has a lot of effect on the league. For teams that maybe aren't sure about their edge rushers, or their edge rushers are getting high up there in age, or they're just not a competitive team, this sets a bar for how much you should get for that player. And then for the Ravens, it also, for them, puts them about $11 million over the cap. And like I said, they have until the 11th to figure out a move to fix that. One player that works kind of just on his own to do that, and kind of the only player that works on his own to do that, is Kyle Hamilton, one of the best safeties in the game, 25 years old. I would never want to get rid of him, but at the end of the day, you do have to be under that hard cap. So it's like, is that your piece? Is that what you do? Their more likely thing, in my opinion, is getting rid of Mark Andrews and trying to bring back Isaiah Likely, and then deciding between, it was Derrick Henry, who, I mean, he's old, and Broderick Washington, a D lineman for them, who's also old. I wouldn't want to get rid of Derrick Henry, but once again, he's 32 years old. At some point, the wheels got to come off, and it didn't really work with him and Lamar last season. Do you just try and do this more defensive-focused approach next year?
So it's funny that you say that, because I was literally about to say that I feel like, and this is from a very casual standpoint because I'm a college football diehard more than I am NFL. I feel like if the Ravens didn't have so many injury problems to start the actual season, I feel like we wouldn't be talking about them the way that we would right now.
No, I don't think they would have gotten Max Crosby.
That is also a good point. Them being bad did land them Max Crosby, but I feel like they're kind of being overlooked as like a bad team because of the injury issues, and then I guess, and obviously losing your head coach, firing him the way that you did, it doesn't help the optics at all. So I get it, but I think the Ravens are fine if they can stay healthy. As you said, they got to figure out something with Derrick Henry. Obviously, still a top 10 running back in the league, but 32 as a running back in the NFL, you're basically like 45.
Yeah, and I'm not saying he's bad or anything. He is 32. He plays a very power heavy style of football.
Mileage, man, it adds up. Like, especially as you said, he's a contact seeking. I will run you over running back. He will run through you and run into the end zone. So it's like all that wear and tear. Like, same thing towards Lamar. Like, I feel like with them having like Lamar, you probably won't. I mean, you kind of did see it with him getting hurt last year, but I feel like if we keep trying to run like read option and try to keep him in this more mobile offense with him, obviously you want to use him to his strengths now, but you're gonna just put him in the ground the same way Derrick Henry is kind of already there, you know. Like I feel like their offense just needs like a more revamp. I feel like you can basically run it back with Max, but try to be a more pass-focused offense, I would say.
I feel like they did, though. I feel like they were very good with Lamar. Like, since his rookie year, they've ran him a little bit less and less in the sense that it's less designed runs.
Right. Obviously, he's going to bust out and use his athletic ability to go get the
first. A man's got to bust.
A man going to bust.
But
I'm about to bust. The Hank Hill meme.
But Lamar, I feel like, continually gets underrated for what he is, and people just, I think part of it just because he is so athletic, and just on top of it, he is a black quarterback, that people just think all he does is run. People don't think he can pass, because that's just something people like to say. He's such a good passer. Like, you don't win 2 MVPs being a bad passer.
Right. No,
he is so accurate. He is so good outside of the pocket. He is so good in the pocket as well that has no debate. Like, he can be a pure arm quarterback if we want. It's just his legs do help him with the threat of it, at least, that you can't send 5 or 6 every single play because he can possibly scramble out of it.
I don't know, man. I personally like the Ravens. I think they're going to be all right. Maybe if they can get some small pickups here and there. But I feel like their core, especially trading Max, I feel like they are solid right now.
Yeah.
I like what they have on defense. I feel like their offense, maybe try to get a. I mean, do we know who their like second string running back is? Like, is it anyone of note?
I think so. I'm literally forgetting. But they have good wide receivers there.
Yeah, receiver core is solid. The receiver core, I'm not really worried about.
Their tight ends are question marks just because they don't really have one on contract if they do get rid of Mark Andrews, because likely is a free agent.
DJ Marky Mark.
I think he has to go. He's old. But running back wise, Justice Hill. They have Justice Hill, who had a really good season last year.
Yeah, I know. Justice.
He's definitely not as good as Derrick Henry, but you want to start giving him more of the workload, because at some point Derrick Henry's wheels do fall off.
You gotta preserve Derrick as long as you can if you're the Ravens, and just giving Justice just a little bit more workload. That'll definitely help get Derrick through to like playoffs at least.
Yeah, and
I feel like that's all you got to do. It's just make sure Derrick is able to save himself and stay healthy enough to make it to the postseason, and then from there, if you have to burn him, go for it. But you got to get yourself to that point.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, like, running backs are becoming just a dime a dozen. Like, if you could find a good speed guy and a good bruiser, like, you're fine. But there are anomalies to it. Like, Derrick Henry obviously was. Saquon, Bijan Robinson, like, those are anomalies that they can do it all. But at some point, the wheels fall off, and you do have to be prepared for that and to replace that.
I feel like Ashton Genty could be one of those backs if the Raiders make the right moves. But it's really if they make the right moves. But I feel like Genty's one of those guys where if we give him maybe 2 years and hopefully the Raiders can kind of figure it out, I feel like he's gonna be up there with like the Bijans, the Saquons. Like as you know personally, I've been a fan of Ashton Genty since like the first game of his senior year. I remember texting you like,
I was
bro,
talking about him to his junior year to you.
yeah, was it
Yeah,
like that?
I sent you some stuff.
Because I remember, bro, like his first game, I was like, yo, this man ran for 300 yards and
No,
it's the
he's
third
crazy.
quarter. Like,
But talking about the Raiders, big
Mendoza.
moves like losing or trading Crosby. They just cut Geno Smith. They have just slightly under $130 million in cap space this offseason based on like
time.
over the cap.
It's time.
You
make
have to
something
bring
happen.
in an offensive line.
You have to.
You're going to be drafting Mendoza. There's no other option. If anybody else tells you someone else is going first overall, they're wrong and block them.
It would be foolish for them to not get a quarterback situation drafted. You save the money there, and as you said, you ball out on getting a good offensive line.
Yeah.
Like you cannot go another year with that offensive line looking the way it did, man. Like,
Yeah.
You just can't.
In my opinion, you need two of the three best guys on the market, which are Tyler Lindenbaum, Rasheed Walker, and Braden Smith.
Okay.
Those are two tackles and then a center.
Okay.
If you can afford all of them. Obviously, you have $130 million in cap space.
130 mil in the NFL. Okay, that could definitely buy you a pretty nice toy.
And I feel like that's what you have to do. Like, it's been so obvious. Like, these teams have success with quarterbacks on rookie scale deals, and you can start fresh with this one. Mendoza will be under contract for the next 5 seasons. Spend your money now on an offensive line and draft some wide receiver pieces later on in the draft. Fix your defense a little bit if you can. But just set Mendoza off right. Give Ashton Genty the ability to run, establish that run game to make Mendoza more successful. You already have Brock Bowers, who's having injury issues. Bring in 2 wide receivers so he has less of a workload. Like, protect your youth by bringing in some vets that will just grow the team quicker. It's one of the ways that you can turn a team to like the worst in the league to a playoff contending team, kind of like the Bears did with Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams came in, and obviously Eberflus was the wrong choice at coach. He should have never been there, but he was, and we were one of the worst teams again. And then all of a sudden, his second year, we get almost an entirely new offensive line, bring in wide receiver targets with Luther Burden, get Colston Loveland in the draft, just like I said, like the Raiders should do. And we're a playoff team. We win our first playoff game in 15 years. And it's just such a clear-cut thing that you obviously should run your franchise like this. And the Raiders have a very strong ability to do so.
Yeah, I mean they have the money, they have the appeal. You're in Vegas. Tom Brady is your owner. Like,
well, people hate Tom Brady right now. With the owner stuff or the trainer stuff, because that's why Max Crosby wanted out, because he's sick of Brady's personal trainer is like the head trainer there, and he's just like basically snitching on everybody whenever they're not following any of his routines, and they're getting punished for it. When it's like these are adults, these are professional athletes that have their own trainers. Like, they probably have their own training regimen and everything. Like, they don't need to follow yours.
I feel like with that, because okay, how long has Tom been the owner at this point?
Last year.
So, man's barely been there. With the Raiders, and this kind of goes along with the whole Mendoza thing, it's going to take them a couple years, but I feel like they're going to clear house eventually to buy into this Brady way of doing things.
Well, that's what the trainer and all that is.
Yeah. And like Crosby leaving, like obviously, like you're just setting up to get all this money.
Mm.
The people that want to buy in are obviously going to buy in. They have multiple reasons to buy in. They could get paid where you are. And as you said, if you're a fan of what Brady's doing, you would want to sign just off who he is alone. So
I don't think so. I think Tom Brady lived probably one of the most miserable lives outside of football
I mean, but
that a player did. And yeah, he was successful. He was crazy successful.
yeah.
He's the
I was
best
gonna
player
say you gotta
to
kind
play.
of weigh weigh your pros and cons
But
there.
if you're a person and you're like, you have a family, you have kids, and football is like, you want to retire by the age of 30, I'm not signing there. I don't want to go there. I don't want to get drafted by you if you're going to make my life like a hell. Because I can win a Super Bowl somewhere else. Like, going and following the Brady way doesn't guarantee a Super Bowl. If he wins back to back, then maybe it starts to be proven and it's like, okay, this is the way to win. But as of right now, it's nothing. And the first year of you implementing all these things, the Raiders were dog shit, and it didn't even matter. So in my mind, if I'm someone signing, I don't feel like I'd want to, like, with all of that. And two, like, the Tom Brady stuff also has to be negatively affected in my mind with how much he shaded the Patriots this entire Super Bowl run. Like, that's where you spent your entire career besides a couple years with Tampa Bay. Like, at least, like, support them a little bit, like, in my opinion. Like, I get you're an owner of a team, and they did you dirty probably at the end, but it's like, that was 20 years of your life, like, there.
I just think it's deeper than. I feel like it's more of a Brady and Kraft thing.
Well, yeah,
than,
Kraft, pedophile, by the way, on Epstein's list.
Oh
Fuck
God!
him.
Okay, the podcast is getting canceled
no,
already.
it's not.
We fucking brought up the list.
So I hate Robert Kraft too, but it's like so many things that happened this year that revolved around that I'm just like, it's so weird. And for him, like, I get not backing Kraft, fuck Robert Kraft, but to not back Belichick's thing of he should be a first ballot Hall of Famer as much as I think he should have, like, that's crazy to me too. Because there's no Tom Brady and all those Super Bowls, I think, without Belichick there. Like, Tom Brady still is a great player, obviously, but if you don't have the best football coach of all time in that locker room with you, coaching that defense on a very tight budget to give you good weapons, I don't think you get all that success.
Honestly, I think at this point, all three of them just hate each other at this point.
I feel like they all want the credit for it, and it's all three of them. Like, Robert Kraft spent the money, Bill Belichick assembled the team, Tom Brady made the offense work. Like, it's
ego.
obviously
It's
all
ego.
three of them.
Yeah,
But
just the ego is just drowning them when literally it's like all three of them are first ballot in everything: owner, coach, quarterback.
yeah,
Like, as much as I hate the fucking Patriots, like, it is what it is. First ballot everything. It shouldn't even be a question.
yeah.
Like, especially the Bill thing. That's just a whole nother.
Bill's the best coach of all time, and he gets left out. Like, once again, Robert Kraft, I get leaving him off. Definitely the year that the Epstein files come out.
That's fair. That's fair. But Bill just
There's no excuse.
There just doesn't make sense. That's just bias.
Yeah.
Bro. That's just piss poor, like, just bias with the ballot. I don't even know how to say it. I'm trying to find words, but I can't.
Yeah, it's just bad.
It's just bad. It's just bad.
But as far as that, who do you think for, like, an MVP next year?
Okay. I guess my way too early MVP. It just really depends on what they do as a franchise, and honestly, I'm not too confident in it. I want to say I have Josh Allen up there.
He is the favorite odds on right now.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
Okay, I did not know that actually. Josh Allen balled with no team really. I feel like if he can give himself like a weapon.
He got DJ Moore.
I forgot they got DJ Moore. Okay, so they're already off to a better start than they were last year. He has one guy. I think if they fill up the roster a little bit more, give him some actual weapons, he could look really good next year. I do like Josh Allen, and then I'm gonna just say him off just recency bias, because I mean he does give you quality seasons every single year. I'm gonna say Stafford. The odds of him going back to back, extremely slim.
He's old as fuck.
And he's old, but he's still balling at his age. And honestly, just when I really think about it, I'm having a hard time thinking of someone that just pops out to me off the page immediately. I guess maybe you could put Caleb in those conversations if he keeps.
I don't
taking
put
those
Caleb
steps.
Williams there yet. Definitely not after losing DJ Moore.
Yeah, true. I mean, but hey,
it's still a great team around it.
I was gonna say the offseason it's not even close to getting over. You guys can make a splash and get another weapon. So who knows? But yeah, I don't know. Those two names are just kind of the first people that I'm like, okay, maybe they have the best shot. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. Like Stafford, it's crazy he's this old and still like he just won an MVP.
Still doing it, bro. He's out here.
It's hard to believe he can do it again, but I mean, he just did it. It was hard to believe for me at the beginning of the season that he would do it again, and just put up a great season like this. But in my opinion, I'm also not a big Josh Allen fan. I feel like he is the actual problem there in Buffalo. I think Sean McDermott was a scapegoat.
That's interesting.
I personally don't think Josh Allen's obviously insanely athletic, great running quarterback, very big guy, powerful arm. I feel like his vision and everything, his reads just aren't the best, and that's whenever it hits him in those hard games. If a team has 2 or 3 good cornerbacks or a solid pass rush, I feel like he's very scattered and all over the place, and I feel like that's what's held the Bills back, that he is a top 5 quarterback, but even being a top 5 quarterback doesn't mean you can win those true big games. Like skill-wise, he is a top 5. I feel like there's no debate about that, but I don't know. I don't think he can do it game in, game out like some of these guys can consistently. I'm giving my MVP. It's between 2 guys as well, and it truly depends on the franchise and who gets a better offensive line this offseason. But my 2 guys are Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert. I think those 2 are my MVP considerations, and it truly depends on who gets the better offensive line. I feel like both of them have good offensive coaches. They both have good weapons wise, and the Chargers are looking to add another, and Mike Evans soon. It just really depends on offensive line. What can you do? Both of those teams had possibly the 2 worst offensive lines last season.
Just based off everything we're hearing, I would give the Chargers the edge in that advantage, because Cincinnati, they just seem like they don't want to be there. They don't want to pay anybody. That
definitely not defense.
Yeah, the whole front office and just ownership group is in very questionable hands right now.
Yeah.
So if we're gonna go between those 2, I do like Herbert's chances a lot more, just because I feel like the Chargers would actually realize what they have and be like, okay, we need to try before he just ups and leaves it. I feel like the Bengals kind of don't care if Joe Burrow leaves in 2 years or something like that, because I feel like they don't even care if they leave their own stadium at this point. So it's anything Bengals related, as much as I don't want to go against them, because I do like what they could be.
Yeah, that possible Super Bowl run they had a while ago is so much fun. Watching Joe and Chase fall out.
It wasn't far away either. That was a couple years ago. And it's just a night and day flip of you guys were on top of the world one day, and now everything is just downhill the next day. Yep. It's just I don't know. Definitely Herbert in that situation personally.
Yeah. What about your Super Bowl? Do you have a thought for what the opponents or what the teams in it will be, or the winner at least?
Okay.
I can start with mine if you want to gather yours.
I'll let you go ahead with that, because I kind of have to get 2 solid teams together. I don't want to just say some nonsense, you know.
So my Super Bowl kind of really coincides with what you were saying about one of your MVP candidates being Matthew Stafford.
Okay.
I really wanted to put the Rams there. I really did. Definitely after the trade they made to get, what was the cornerback that they just traded? They just got a really good cornerback.
I'm so blanking.
Who the fuck?
Like I said, I am the college football guy. I keep up.
Oh, Trent McDuffie. They got Trent McDuffie from the Chiefs, which is one of the top cornerbacks in the league. Really solidifies that defense. but I can't pick them because I'm just like I don't know what Matthew Stafford's gonna do. I think they'll get to the NFC Championship game again, but I think they will once again lose to the Seattle Seahawks, who get to the Super Bowl. And then on my other side of things, I think the Ravens have done enough. I think the Seahawks versus the Ravens will be our Super Bowl, and I think the Seahawks are just gonna win it again. Their defense is just so unbeatable. Like it's such a strong defense. And it's kind of different from that Legion of Boom. The Legion of Boom had these like defensive backs and linebackers that were so good that you couldn't pass on them. Your wide receivers were scared of them because they're going to get hit hard. Your running backs find it difficult to get to that second level because that second level is so fast that they can meet you at that first level. It was just so difficult. This Seahawks team is so different because it's truly a team effort. And it all works so good that no matter what level of the playing field you are at, the Seahawks just seem to beat you, no matter who you are. And just with all of that, like defense in my mind still wins championships. And it just won them a championship. So I think the Seahawks are going back to back.
So I do have the Seahawks going back. I will agree with you there. Defensively, they're sound. It's just amazing to watch. Legion of Boom 2.0, but better.
In my opinion, at least.
I would agree with you. I think they have probably one of the best defensive teams we've seen in a minute. I will change the AFC team though. I'm going to throw a team out there, and I'm mainly going to go with how they finished last year.
I think I'm going to be upset with who you say.
You probably are. They finished extremely strong last year. They did get a couple injuries throughout the year, but it didn't end their whole season. But Duval, I think.
Oh, Jax? That's not who I thought you were going to say. The Patriots again.
No, I actually think Jacksonville could make a run.
You trust T-Law?
It just depends. Honestly, I feel like obviously he's going to like struggle, but I feel like if they could do okay enough to start the year, maybe go like if you can at least go 500, within like your first maybe 6 to 8 games.
So you're thinking they're a wild card team?
I'm thinking they're a wild card team, but I'm thinking they're a wild card team that could get enough like push, and they're just flowing well enough to where they could just make it through. Like I said, I like what I saw last year when you give Trevor Lawrence like a decent coach and a decent offense. This is like the second time we've seen him kind of go on like a run. I would say the first real run I would count was it that Colts and Jags game like a couple years ago in the playoffs.
Yes.
You remember that?
Yes.
Where he just balled out second half. That was like the first real like okay like Trevor has something in him, and then they went on what was it like a 6-game win streak or something last year? There's some I don't know, but they went on a pretty
they went from out of the playoffs to like very much in the conversation.
Yeah, and I just feel like if they can keep building upon that, just keep on like adding, I think Jacksonville has a shot. Like I said, it's kind of everything kind of has to go right for them kind of pick, but I feel like it's not impossible. I kind of I like them, and I really I guess you could throw Denver in there. Bo Nix getting hurt kind of changed everything.
Yeah,
you know,
and it's looking like Denver might be getting Kenneth Walker. From the Seahawks.
So it's like if they get that and they get a healthy Bo Nix. I mean, even though Bo Nix is kind of like older, you know, like it's
he's older for how many years he's been in the league.
He's definitely older for like a second, third year quarterback. Like I definitely agree with you there. But I mean, if he doesn't get hurt, I feel like we would be having a whole different conversation about what the Super Bowl could have been and just everything. So I would put Denver as like my second team. I think they have a better shot over Jacksonville, but I'm going to stick with Jacksonville.
So who do you have winning it all?
Seattle.
Seattle. Okay. So still Seattle.
I have Seattle winning, but I think Jacksonville has a shot to just give you like a good story.
I think Jacksonville could. I think, in my opinion, Brian Thomas, top 10 wide receiver. I feel like that's not debatable. They are probably losing Travis Etienne. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
I think it comes down to Travis Hunter being healthy and making the right decision to just make him a cornerback. I feel like he is
So you
better
think
at a
he
quarterback.
should be a corner?
He is a lot better as a cornerback than a wide receiver. I think he changes the game just significantly more with his athleticism and his just ability to read a quarterback, like as a cornerback. I saw it while he was at Colorado. Like he just seemed better defensively, and seemed like a good captain defensively.
It's just always fun to hear where people side on the whole Travis Hunter debate. I'm kind of with you just because I like that he has a extensive receiver knowledge. He knows exactly when you're gonna break on your cuts. He knows how to read your routes, and like I feel like him having so much offensive like experience, especially in game, that would definitely help him at the actual cornerback position. And size wise, unless you're just gonna put him in the slot and risk him getting hurt with his frame and his size, I feel like cornerback is a better and a safer spot for him to play because he's only like what, like 6 foot 6'1". Like he isn't tall. He isn't.
But
he
for
isn't-
cornerbacks, that's good sized.
cornerbacks, that's great. Receiver, kind of, sort of, I would say, with his frame in mind, you got to keep, because Travis Hunter is a very skinny guy.
Yeah.
He's very skinny. I think his frame and everything just works better as a corner as well. But I'm just curious. It was just curious to hear where you had him on the field, because some people will die with him at receiver, others want him at corner.
Yeah, and I think he's a Pro Bowl wide receiver. I think he's an all NFL cornerback.
Okay.
I feel like he just is significantly better as a cornerback. And I don't want to waste his energy and risk injury by throwing him at offense 2 and not giving him that break between drives that I could if he is just on one side of the ball. I'm not saying he's bad at wide receiver. He just is significantly better in my mind at cornerback.
I get that. That's fair. And yeah, like me personally, I just like his knowledge of like the whole route tree and everything like that. I just feel like obviously corners are gonna have knowledge of that, but him playing it, it's just a different feel. Like he knows exactly what everyone's doing, you know.
Yeah.
So I
And I feel like a bias comes in with the conversation that you say, like, of people saying offense or defense. I feel like there is a natural bias that people like to see people score. People like to see the offense
Trevor
do
Lawrence.
things.
Trevor Lawrence, for
Yeah.
example.
And
He's like,
it's
you better come catch these passes.
I feel like for most people, I'm not included in this because I love defense, but people find defense boring. Whenever the defense is getting stop after stop after stop, people don't enjoy the game. People say that's a bad game.
I personally love a good defensive showdown. Like I would say to the casual and to the average fan, they would want to see like a 28-21 like slugfest kind of game. You know, that's not really even a slugfest.
No,
but,
at this
you know what
point,
I'm
40-point games are becoming more common.
Yeah.
And so it's more exciting to see people score than it is to see them just deflect a pass.
And me personally, I don't mind like a good, even like a 10-7 game. You give me a good 10-7 game with two defenses that are just bending but not breaking, and it's just a good back and forth match. I'm all for it.
Yeah,
I'm all for it. So,
but I think that's where that debate or that argument comes in, is just, do you actually like defense or not?
I get that. I get that.
I did want to say, because you kind of brought up his brother in a sense. Have you seen the Tez Johnson news? Your boy.
Yes, I feel like I saw it and I totally forgot what the Tez Johnson news
So
was.
Tez Johnson,
I know it's something that's gonna make me mad.
proposed to his girlfriend, but that morning cheated on her.
Yeah.
He said, like, he said something about I need head.
to come see you or some shit like that. Like Tez.
I need to see these Tez
Tez.
Johnson's texts. 'Cause
Tez.
it's like,
As a Bucks fan, as a guy that's been rooting for you since Oregon, what the hell are you doing, bro?
so morning of, he texts his ex, "Need your throat."
a man of words. A man of words.
Also, when can I nut in you and fuck you like I want to? Like, all of that is within, like, the same day, because, like, that last text came the same, like, it came in at, like, 12 a.m. So, like, basically, that's all the same day of him proposing.
All dreams of us ever making money off this just single-handedly got ruined by you reading
Hey.
Tez Johnson's text
Hey.
message.
Vile human being, bro. Vile human being.
Which one's worse, Stephon Diggs or Tez? I'm joking. Don't even answer that.
They're both bad.
They're both horrible.
I guess at least Tez isn't impregnating women.
No, Stephon Diggs is worth it.
Yeah, no, that
Bro,
man.
dude had like 10 of his baby mamas in a Super Bowl suite with his damn mother.
God.
And Cardi B up in her own suite.
Cardi B leaving early because he brought his favorite baby mama out, bro.
Good luck.
It's crazy. No, they're bad. They're
Good
bad.
luck.
But yeah, that's all I have on the NFL, ending with Tez Johnson there. My last kind of like thing that I know like we both kind of focus on is baseball, but
Real quick, I do have to just ask your personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about the Bears moving?
They're not going to move out of Chicago. That's just a threat to the city. I think they're going to move to Washington Heights, but they're not going to leave like Illinois as a whole. They're not going to Gary, Indiana.
It wasn't Gary, the rumor. Well, at least
Gary was a big part of it because Gary's like 2-3 hours and they have cheaper land.
I heard that it's somewhere in Indy. I don't know the exact city, but it's like an hour from this.
That's Gary.
The stadium.
Yeah, that's Gary.
Is it Gary?
Yeah.
Okay. I obviously I don't know fucking Midwest towns and states like that, but okay, interesting. You think they don't move?
No, that's just a threat. Okay. They're just trying to get more money, in my opinion, from the state, which will be successful. They're going to build the stadium in Washington Heights there, which will probably be a better location than Soldier Field. Soldier Field does get fucked up a lot, just being on the lake there.
It's just old too, bro.
And it's old, yeah.
It's kind of hard to really renovate there.
Yeah.
You know, when it's just so old.
The parking there is not the best, having been there, because it literally just is on the lake, and it's right next to like the Field Museum. It's right next to the planetarium. Like it is all just packed in on this little like park cove area,
centralized essentially.
And so it just makes everything pretty rough. I think the Washington Heights will be good. I am a fan that it will be domed. I know you're not a fan of that. I know a lot of people aren't a fan of that, but in my opinion, it keeps the players safe, which in my opinion is the most important thing. Because like I get they're millionaires, so some people distance themselves from thinking they matter or can do anything but play football.
That's crazy.
But
They're still humans, bro.
Yeah, I do like care about the players' like health and safety. Like even when Micah Parsons went down, like obviously he was for the Packers. Like that sucks. Like that's so bad. And even though it worked out for my Bears because we didn't have to play Micah Parsons in the playoffs, it's just like you hate to see that because I want to see every team at their best. I want to see every single player at their best and see what they're doing. I think dome stadiums help that. I think it also helps a lot to get rid of turf. I feel like there's a lot of things that people will look at and say there's been research done that turf has no effect on injuries. I just want to say NFL paid for that study.
MetLife Stadium would say different.
Yes, NFL paid for that study to be done, and so it was very biased on the results found. Actual third parties have done the like tests of all of that, and it does show a slight increase in injuries, but even the slightest bit of increase to injuries, I feel like is enough to say, hey, we need to do something.
I still call it FedEx Field, but what's Washington's field? Is it a stadium name?
I don't know. I know Trump wants it to be Trump Stadium or something.
Yeah, I did see that. But Washington and New York, just the two stadiums with the most just leg injuries within like the past 5 years or something like that. Yeah. Like there's been at least like 30 something injuries there.
Yeah, and they don't care.
Just insane. Like,
but I feel like you got to get rid of it.
Yeah, like the only thing I am kind of upset about with those changes is personally I feel like with a dome I 100% get why you go dome. Yeah, you can use it all year round, protects the players, the fans, the field, it protects everything. I just feel like you miss the outdoor aspects.
Yeah, you missed the weather. You
Which
missed the
which
Buffalo games, which
yeah.
Buffalo, of course, they
Now
opted to have an outdoor stadium.
now, granted, blizzards and stuff like that, I get it. You want to keep that out, but
Mhm.
just like a Sunday 1 o'clock nice day, I feel like you lose that luxury with the dome stadiums. Unfortunately,
Yeah, we wouldn't have the Shady McCoy snow games if we had dome stadiums back then.
the best snow football player of all time, Shady McCoy.
Shady McCoy. But no, I do think for the players' sake, it is better to be domed. I feel like it's better to have grass.
I agree.
All
Yeah,
that.
no, grass. I will not argue.
And
with you
the
on.
Bears are not going to Indiana. They will be in Illinois.
Yeah, grass. I will not argue with you on dome. I have my personal bias, but we'll see. And then the Bears, I don't have a personal opinion. I don't have any dog in that fight. It would be weird to kind of see them leave Soldier Field, but I get it. It's so old. And
Yeah, they need to.
Yeah, it's just very interesting to see what ends up happening with them.
Yeah.
But that's all I got for football.
Yeah. So baseball's next.
Oh man.
Do you have any things to start with on
Yes,
baseball
yes,
before
yes,
awards?
Yes. Jerickson Profar.
Yerkson.
Jerickson, I don't care. I'm English as fuck. What the fuck is a kilometer? Anyways. Yeah, bro. Just hang it up. Just hang it up. This is your second season in a row. Thankfully for the Braves, they do not have to pay him this year.
Yeah.
But dude, it's so just like I don't care. I don't care if this is mean. I don't think he deserves any more chances, bro. Like back to back like that is just kind of fucking insane.
It's pretty bad.
It's really bad, man. Like,
and I don't even know why it's happening really, because it's like what was he doing? Like,
So
because he's
I
saying
think
he wasn't doing PEDs on purpose, and I know that's what they always say.
I think the first time his claim was like it was some supplement, and this has I'm with me keeping up with like the UFC since like 2010. I've heard this excuse so many times where these guys will end up taking some kind of supplement or something in the off season, and it will have some kind of drug in there that is a very small amount, or it could be a large amount, but whatever illegal drug that they're not supposed to be taking is in these supplements, and then that's how they normally end up getting popped. UFC had this massive issue from like 2008 to like the Reebok era. That was like a big thing. Apparently it looks like we might be going back to the steroid era in baseball. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not a fan. I'm not sure what this recent allegation was for it, but it's honestly sad, man.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm not really seeing anything. I'm seeing like the reason for the last one, he was taking like a pregnancy hormone thing that you don't. Yeah.
What? Like, okay.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are you taking pregnancy hormones?
Yeah. But it sucks. And it's like right as he was hitting his stride too, he's doing all of this. He finally got his big contract. He finally got his big breakout. He was finally looking like that number one overall prospect that he was so many years ago.
And just ruined it, bro.
And just fell apart. Like it sucks. I rooted for Yerkson this entire time. I always thought he was going to be a pretty good player, and just couldn't figure it out mentally. It felt like at the MLB level. And now he finally is good, and this happened. I'd say a successful story that's kind of like his, minus all the PEDs now, is like Victor Robles, who like was a top prospect, was awful, had like a final chance in the MLB, started playing good, and now has a long-term contract there with Seattle. That's what I hoped for Profar, but here we are.
It's just at this point, what teams? I'm like, what team would really even want to even risk trying to give him that chance? I'm not now. Listen, obviously there will be a team that obviously does it. Some team will sign him to like a minor league deal and just sees if he stays clean. I know it's gonna happen because the way that the MLB is, but it's just like
Does he not have one more year left on his
No.
Braves contract?
So, if I'm correct, he signed a 2-year deal with the Braves. Last year he got popped, and then this season would have been the second year of that deal. But because he's gone for the whole year, I think his contract is just done.
They waived it.
I think it's just done at this point. Because from what I heard, that he is not getting paid this season at all, since he's missing every single game. So I don't know if they can waive him, if they already did waive him. I'm not sure how exactly that's working. But all I know is that he will not be receiving a check from the ATL Braves.
So he will be getting some money. So he did sign a 3-year, $42 million contract.
It was a 3-year.
So he has one more year left on it technically.
Okay.
Over that time, he still is making $20 million. So even though it's not the full $42 million, it is still 20. So he's still getting some level of pay. But yeah, it just sucks.
Yeah, it's
and it's his fault.
A shame. No, it's 100% his fault.
Yeah,
it's 100% his fault. You can't blame anybody for that.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, you can't blame anyone for that stupid shit. Like,
yeah,
it is what it is. You messed up not only once but twice.
Yeah,
and now you have to potentially risk never having a job in MLB again.
Yeah, and I think that will be the case. I don't think he will be back. I think he'll probably become a coach because he is very knowledgeable about the game, but I think as a player, he's probably done.
I mean, I would not be mad at that, honestly.
Yeah.
Coach it up somewhere, but just you cannot play this game.
Yeah.
You cannot play this game juicing, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. So, yeah, that was my first subject. I'm honestly surprised I did a rant about that a lot longer than I did. Thoughts about ABS, real quick.
I love it. I think it's a great thing. It's going to add another skill to hitters, but most importantly, catchers. So as this all happens, framing is going to slowly fade away.
Right.
It's going to be less important. It's obviously still going to be important because you get a certain amount of challenges a game. But it will make it that your catcher now has to learn to read, is this challengeable? Should I challenge this call? Will it be significant enough to help my team if I challenge this? So it kind of replaces what you lose a little bit with framing, with that knowledge of situation and understanding a strike zone of all that with the catcher.
So overall, do you think it helps the catchers more? Or do you think, let me phrase this correctly. Do you think it helps catchers more in terms of knowing, with like experienced catchers, knowing their zone, knowing when to challenge personally, or do you think it hurts catchers more by losing basically the whole purpose of framing and having that extra defensive skill set by being able to fool an umpire properly?
I feel like both of them set each other off. If it was unlimited amount of challenges, then
that changes everything.
That would change everything.
Yeah.
But as of right, like with it all, like you can still frame an entire game and be fine. Like I think if it takes like one or two of them to get failed for it to be gone, and then two, I think you still just even have a limited amount, even if you keep succeeding. Maybe I don't fully remember how their challenge rules work. I know they changed some stuff introducing this ABS.
So I think you keep your challenge if you
You're
get
successful.
it right. Yeah. So I think you don't, as long as you're right, I think you can just keep on going.
Yeah.
I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that's how it's kind of working, at least for like the moment in time.
I just don't think it's going to be a strong enough effect that it's going to hurt catchers yet.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. I mean, because like as you said, you can only challenge. You have be very selective with your challenging, anyways. So,
and already every single year, like year after year, umpires get better. As much as people hate umpires, like they do get better over time.
Yeah.
The strike zone you see on TV isn't the real strike zone.
Yeah, it will never be 100% accurate.
Yeah,
it's never gonna be
just
accurate.
What it might look like.
Yeah, it's just like a general grasp for people that have never really known about that amazing.
Yeah, if you want to know about umpires and stuff like that, I recommend looking at like the social media site of like scorecards, because they do a really good job at like comparing it to the average game for a for a umpire, and seeing like their percentage of correct calls, like strikes and balls, along with if there is like any bias in terms of like they're helping a team based on their ball and strike calls. So I think that's a good way of actually seeing if an umpire is good. But umpires are getting so good that ABS will become a thing. Robo umps will become a thing at some point. But as of right now, I truly don't think the ABS system hurts catchers or hitters or pitchers. It really just balances itself out, in my opinion.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I mean, I feel like with that, I personally think it's kind of, as you said, it kind of cancels itself out. Like, I think it's more helpful for catchers who, like, as I said, if you're a catcher and you're an experienced catcher, you know your zone. You should be winning those challenges every time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like it kind of helps a little bit more than it hurts, but it's really like a 51-49 like split. Like it's not much more helpful than it is hurtful. So
Yeah.
yeah, but those are kind of my two side topics. Do you want to just throw out a guess as to who you think is going to win WBC?
Oh, it's going to be America.
Yeah.
I mean, it's America. It's USA or Japan.
I don't think Japan has it.
USA's only issue is, of course, USA has the biggest talent. USA has the biggest firepower, which also results in things like what's happening with Tariq Skubal. Tariq Skubal said he will pitch only one game in the World Baseball Classic, even though he is the second best pitcher in the league. He's only going to pitch one game due to like his impending free agency coming up, and insurance purposes of contract and all of that stuff.
And you also have to think about it with the impending lockout coming up.
Yes, next year.
This also makes a pretty big impact on who is going to play WBC. For example, guys like Skubal, who are on like their last year of like ARB, or guys who are about to enter free agency next year for like, I don't know, like a 1 year or something. It changes a lot.
Yeah.
So I get that. I'm kind of with you. It is either going to be Japan or USA. I do have USA winning. But I feel like Japan is always going to be like, you just can't count them out no matter how stacked USA is. Like,
yeah, no, I mean, they've been kicking everybody in the face. Like, Seiya Suzuki's going absolutely nutty. Shohei is Shohei. Like, the entire team is showing up. It's just right now in pool stage, you are playing some of the worst that you're going to play this entire time. So
you're playing
we'll
science teachers.
Yeah. So once we get out of pool play, that's whenever you start seeing like the real stuff. So we'll see how teams react from that. America or USA, I think only won 8-4 against Brazil whenever they were like 13-point favorites. So that was a little shocking, but it also just felt like some people weren't trying. Byron Buxton, of course, got hurt. Just that's what Buck Daddy does.
Oh man, don't get me started on Byron Buxton.
But
I'm not getting started on that rant.
Yeah, I think USA's winning.
Okay.
And two, it's here in USA.
That's
yeah. Who's your rookie of the years, if you've thought of that?
Okay, so kind of didn't know how to really go about the rookie of the year.
Yeah.
So I gave you two names.
Okay.
I gave you a guy who is already up in the league, and I think he should qualify for.
So you don't have like an AL NL one?
I mean,
because remember, there's two rookie of the years each year.
Wait, hold on. I did forget, but low key, I think I might have did it anyways.
Okay. I feel like with you saying this, I already know one of them.
If you want to take a guess,
it's Connor Griffin.
I feel like that's probably one of the most obvious answers. He's one of my answers where, if he does get the call, which I don't see why he shouldn't at this point, I feel like if he's able to produce at maybe even half of this production he's doing, because granted he is balling out, and he's not gonna. And this is spring training. You are seeing a mixture of everything. But if he can give you half of this production, I can see Connor Griffin definitely winning Rookie of the Year. So I do. Oh no! Okay, so this actually works out. So I did pick a AL and I did pick a NL actually.
Mm-hmm.
So for my AL, he played I think 31 games last year, I don't know if he's going to be able to qualify for Rookie of the Year. I'm pretty sure he should. But I do have, what team is this? I do have the Baltimore Orioles catcher Samuel
Basillo.
Yeah, I do have him potentially running Rookie of the Year. He came up. He played about 31 games last year, but he looked very solid in those in those games. He does play catcher. They don't really have a guy of name or power. Wait. Oh, yes, they do.
What
they
the
have
fuck?
They have
Adley
Adley Rushman. Adley Rushman. I'm sorry.
Just so everybody knows, he started saying that, and I gave him the nastiest look that I've ever given anyone in my life.
I literally forgot about Adley, which just kind of goes to show that man needs to step it up, man.
So that's the issue with Basillo is they don't know what they're going to do with him. He's either going to be a corner outfielder or first baseman or DH.
That's so crazy. How did I forget about Adley Rushman?
I don't know.
Man, that's kind of wild. But yeah, I have Samuel being my AL rookie. That just deflated everything I had to say. I forgot about Adley Rushman. That's horrible.
That's so funny.
That's bad. I suck.
For my AL guy, I have the Blue Jays pitcher Trey Savage. He pitched.
Trey, you savage.
He's savage. He pitched a little bit last year.
21,
he had 14 innings pitched with 16 strikeouts in those innings. He just needs to learn to limit his walks.
Yeah.
And he'll be fine. Like, that's his only glaring issue is his walks.
I mean, bro, for a guy who's one of his first appearances happens to be playoff baseball for real. I mean, the guy looked great.
No, I think he'll win Rookie of the Year AL.
Great, yeah.
NL, I think it's going to be a double rookie or double pitcher thing.
Ooh, okay.
So I don't think it's going to be Connor Griffin. I feel like Connor Griffin doesn't have the team around him necessarily, and on top of that, I think they're going to manipulate his service time, which helps with like a Trey Savage because he already has played in the MLB, so they can't manipulate his service time anymore.
That's fair.
Same with this guy, Nolan McLean.
Okay, the Reds.
Mets.
What?
You're thinking of Matt McLean.
Damn it.
Nolan McLean of the Mets.
Oh, McLean.
Yes.
I heard McLean. Oh, God, man. I am tired. Okay. Carry on.
But yeah, he had 8 games pitched last year, 48 innings. He pitched to a whip of like 104. Just some of the nastiest like fastball mix with like the cutter, the sinker. His four seam needs some work, but his curveball having 26 inches of movement has a 50% whiff rate on it as he just continues to use that curveball. And I think we're going to see a higher use of the curveball this year. He's just going to be so unhittable. Already at his young age, having 26 inches, or I think he's 24, but he's still young, like not in his prime. He already has 26 inches of movement on that curveball. His like sinker, cutter are around 94. The curveball comes in at about 80, so 14 mile per hour difference in speed. Like, I think McLean is going to be the best rookie, and I think he's also going to be a Cy Young candidate this season in his, I guess technically first full year of MLB playtime.
I think, didn't they announce him as opening day?
Yeah, he's going to be their opening day starter.
Opening day starter too, so that's going to be interesting. We'll see.
Yeah,
we will see on that one.
Going into like Cy Young and stuff from that. Do you have any ideas for Cy Young?
Yeah, I have my guy Tarek.
Yep.
I have big Tarek and I have big old Yoshi.
Oh, you have Yamamoto.
Yoshinobu.
You made it up like a lot of good improvements to his game.
Yeah,
World Baseball Classic's been really good to him.
Like I feel like Roki, he's been doing his thing, but I feel like Roki's kind of found his place in the whole like reliever role.
I think that's where he stays.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think he's gonna get a chance to go back to being a starter pitcher. And as you said, Yoshi he looked solid last year. He made pretty good steps, and I just feel like with him being on the actual Dodgers, he will have as long as of a leash as he needs to get himself right.
Yeah, and I mean he has an 8-year deal. Dodgers aren't going to give up on him, so it's like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so those are just my two guys.
Roki, I definitely think he has something mental going on. He has a great pitches. He has a great mix. It's just something mental's blocking him, which I mean, Yamamoto had the same thing his first year in the league
Yeah.
where he couldn't pitch.
I mean,
The only
it's honestly a tough. It's tough to honestly come over.
Yeah, it's
too,
a tough
man.
movement.
Yeah, it's really tough when you're flying across the world like that
my
and
only
expected to play.
my only concern for Saki right now, or for Roki, is he's doing really bad in the World Baseball Classic too. Like he still can't find his pitch. He can't find anything. Just even in this World Baseball Classic, going against lower end talent.
I think
Like
it's just mental, as you said.
yeah,
man.
yeah. He just has
be.
to figure it out. And I was kind of hoping the World Baseball Classic would be a stage that he can prove that he's out of it, but he has not yet. And of course, it's just starting. We're still in pool play. But I really want to see him throw a good like 3-4 inning outing at least with like 10 Ks. Like if he can just get back to what he does, mix his pitches, throw a hard fastball, have a good break. I think Dodgers just are the best team. But
it's really hard to
yeah.
honestly argue with that point.
My Cy Young, I literally just wrote congratulations, Paul Skeens and Tariq Skubal once again. I think they're just going to run it back. Those are the two best pitchers.
That's fair. I can't
in MLB.
be mad at that.
I think Paul Skeens is the best of the two, and Tariq is very close second. Like I'm not saying it's like a big gap, but Paul Skeens, it's just so disgusting. We just haven't seen a pitcher like this since Greg Maddux. And Paul Skeens elevates it so much by throwing even harder.
Yeah, it took a lot out of me to not pick Paul Skeens just because, bro, it's Paul Skeens. Like he's just so damn good.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I just kind of like my choices. So.
Yeah. MVP.
Okay. Ooh, I'm stupid. I don't know why. For some of these, I only did one division.
If you need some time to think, I can go through mine. Mine's not long.
Go for it, because I have
congratulations, Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani once again. I think the MVP will also be a running it back moment. MLB is fun, and everything, and it feels like it is the sport with the most what's the word? Parity.
Mm-hmm.
Like you never know who is going to be there and everything like that. It's one of those leagues that you just really have to get to the playoffs. And the thing with the MLB though is like the top end talent is so top end that it's hard to pick against them. So Paul Skeens, Tariq Skubal are just so far ahead of the next guys in my opinion that I think they're unbeatable. It's the same as Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani just overall is the best player in the MLB right now. Aaron Judge, on the other hand, you don't see 60 home run guys hitting 331 average. You never see that. That's just unheard of unless you're Barry Bonds. And Aaron Judge did that last season in his MVP campaign. And you do that, I just can't see you losing. Hit a home run last night in the World Baseball Classic for USA. He's already just starting the way he finished. So I can't go against either Judge or Ohtani.
So we definitely did have the same AL. I was gonna say, I feel like Judge just has so much motivation, especially this year. Like he was so excited with like WBC and everything going on. Like I just feel like he really.
He's the new Mr. like Captain America.
Yeah, he just really wants to win everything this year, and I feel like it's hard to go against a man that's just 6'5", motivated, or 6'8". Goddamn, I don't know, bro. I don't even know anymore. But a guy with his stature, Ron, a guy with his stature, smacking as many home runs as he's doing on a good, competent team.
Sorry,
like I feel
6'7".
I should smack you in the face. He's
6'7", bro.
I should smack you in the face for saying that to me right now. But yeah, I got Judge, and then NL. So I was trying to see if there was one guy who I feel like could have potentially won against Shohei. That one person I was looking at was Mr. Juan Soto. Especially with him having a rough start last year, brand new team and everything. Like I feel like with him actually being like acquainted in New York, I feel like that could have been a case. But it's kind of hard to go against Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, I just don't think you
it's
can.
just kind of hard. I mean, I would say maybe Soto is like my runner up.
I think Juan Soto is going to have a year that if literally he's there any other year that Shohei Ohtani doesn't exist, he wins the MVP.
He wins MVP, but because you have Shohei, you can't go against Shohei.
Yeah,
he's just so good at
it's
everything.
Shohei Ohtani.
At
He can
everything.
pitch, he can hit, and he can pitch and hit at both a Cy Young and Silver Slugger level. Like, there's just nothing that you can do. There's nothing anyone can do. Like, it's Shohei Ohtani. I just don't see anybody stopping him.
Yeah, honestly, it's impossible. Like I said, I wanted to give Soto a shot in that race, but unless, I'll put it like this: if Shohei does, God forbid, get hurt, I think Soto is my MVP.
You watch your damn mouth.
Hey, I'm never gonna wish anything on the GOAT. All right.
All right. From there, I was going to talk about some division winners.
Okay.
Do you have anything else before that you wanted to talk about? Because this is kind of going from division winners to then the World Series talks.
Okay. I have a sleeper of the year for both sides, but we can save that until after we go through divisions. I feel like divisions will kind of sort of help build that up a little bit. So you can go ahead and start.
So I'll start with the AL. I think AL East. I think it's just going to be the Blue Jays. They were the best team last year, and Trey Savage is just going to get better. They just brought in, I forget the third baseman's name from, I think, Japan or Korea, but I think he's going to be a big compliment. I think he's going to be better than, I think Ernie Clement was playing third for them. I think he's going to be an improvement. I just don't see anybody topping the Blue Jays. With that, I do think the Yankees are in for a worse year, but I think that's because not they're a worse team, but because the entirety of the AL East got better. The Boston Red Sox, all of those prospects are getting another year under their belt. The Tampa Bay Rays even look like a better team this year than they did last year. The Orioles just brought in Big Meat Pete. Every team in the AL East has made big moves besides the Yankees, which makes the Yankees a worse team, in my opinion. They're not going to be the worst in the league in that division. I think the Rays are still going to finish last. Sorry about that.
Hey.
But it will be a tighter race this year in the AL East.
That's funny. Me and you had the same thought process on
You're
this.
a thought.
I am a thought. Bust down, thought to you. Okay, I'm stop. So I did have the Yankees at first. I put some extra thought into it, and I'm like, the Yankees would have to do one thing, which they cannot seem to do, which is stay healthy and have a full healthy team. Yes, you have Garrett Cole coming back, but as you can see, it just takes one of your aces and a couple position players to just fall off again. And with this man Stanton not even being able to open a bag of chips it's really been just a bad look. So I am with you. I do have the Blue Jays winning this division. But I did have the Yankees in close thoughts. It's just I feel like health is more against the Yankees than anything else. So I just can't put them as a division winner. But yeah.
Central for me goes to the Tigers. I feel like they're just going to be a better team. Their prospects are coming up. Max Clark should be up this year. Kerry Carpenter gets another year under his belt. Riley Green gets another year under his belt. Tariq Skubal is still just the best pitcher. They just brought in Framber Valdez. I just the Indians are cool because I think the Indians are second place in that race. But I just think the Tigers are going to do it.
The Indians?
The Guardians.
I was like, what? I'm like, sir, do you even know what year it is? Man looked at me with the most straight face. Yeah, bro, the Indians.
Yeah, Francisco Lindor and the Cleveland Indians. What are you talking about?
J-Ram, bro. Grady Sizemore.
there.
That's funny. We have the same option. I also have Toronto. I think with
Toronto.
Bro, see, this is what happens when I do a podcast off 2 hours of sleep. I have the Tigers.
Yeah.
I like everything they have. They were able to bring back Schoolball. Well, obviously they're going to be able to bring back Schoolball, but
That was arbitration.
yeah. But you have Schoolball. You bring in Valdez. Hopefully he doesn't get mad with one of his catchers and tries to cross him up. On purpose.
Even if he does, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, I think adding like another big ace in your lineup to a team that looked very strong as it is, it just helps them even more. So I also have Tigers taking it.
Yeah, I just think on top of it all, like Framber Valdez is obviously going to be the replacement for Tariq Skubal. I don't think they plan on re-signing him.
Of course not. Of course not. Skubal's too
but
much
the
money
issue
at
is,
this
I don't
point.
know if you can trade Tariq Skubal with the impending lockout. So it makes it very difficult for them. And I just think they're going to have both of them the entire year, and they're going to win the division.
Yeah, I was about to say, with the lockout impending, it really makes any kind of trades or any just moves kind of tough to really pull.
Yeah, because there might be a salary cap next year.
Just because you don't know what's happening next year. So it's kind of a very weird spot right now, just to see what teams are willing to do and what they aren't willing to do right now.
For the West, I feel like it's a combination of two teams that have a chance for this.
Me too. I like two teams.
I think the Mariners are going to be the team that wins it.
Same.
They're just the best team. Brian Wu continues to get better as a pitcher.
Woo!
So I think they win the division. I do think the Athletics have a chance. I think
is where we differ.
Their youth is so good. With Wilson at shortstop. They have B-Law, Rooker, Nick, Kurtz at first.
The big Amish.
I just they have such a powerful lineup that their lack of pitching, I think, is fine. And the West is always weak. AL West is always weak. So it's an easy division to win if you can just get to 500 or above.
So I also do have Seattle winning.
Yeah.
But where we differ is I did kind of like Houston.
Mm-hmm.
I just like some of the guys they have over there on Houston. Not really saying I have too much faith for them to win it, but I think they could sneak out a second place finish. Maybe get close, but I think just the way Seattle is currently built, everything they have rolling over there, it's gonna be really tough to get over them. Like they are like the hill that you have to climb if you want to win that division. I think so.
And speaking of a hill, Houston used to have one, and I don't know. I can't. I just
most dangerous thing of all time, bro.
Thing, dumbest fucking thing. That is the Unk team this year, right? The Astros. They're so old.
For sure.
Carlos Correa's back, and they're having to move him to third because he can't move enough to play short.
Yeah, and he's just small as it is, which is already a problem.
He's tall.
Correa?
Yeah. I think you're thinking of Altuve.
I am thinking of Altuve. My short king in MLB The Show.
But Altuve's old. Christian Walker, I don't believe he's on the youth side there at first base.
Yeah.
They're pitching. They just lost Framber.
Hunter Brown is supposed to be.
No, Hunter Brown's cool, but he's not Framber Valdez.
Obviously, but he's gonna be the guy they kind of definitely lean on for like the next season or two until they kind of really work it out a little bit more. I think so.
I mean, their biggest bright spot, obviously, and has been for the last few years, is Jordan.
Of course, it's just can you get Jordan healthy?
Yeah, I think Jordan will be fine. I mean, if he's there, he's just going to do some Jordan meat slaps and call it a day.
My fucking PTSD triggers every time I hear Jordan meat slap.
Yeah, you just put him in left field, hope he stands there and looks pretty. But for the most part, he's there to hit. I wouldn't even be mad if they moved him to a DH role.
Yeah, I was about to say you wouldn't want to just.
He goes in between. Sometimes he does left field, but DH, I feel like I want him healthy. We're right now watching the Giants, and there's like a player that I feel the same way. Bryce Eldridge right now is batting, and he's young, he's tall, he could make a good first baseman, like he plays, but I'd much rather see him in a DH role. That guy is there to hit bombs, and I don't want him getting hurt defensively. So
I feel that.
Anybody that is your best hitter, I feel like it's so hard to put them out there in the field because it just increases their risk
Yeah, and
to
that's
get
why,
hurt.
and no, and that's why I kind of question you because I'm like me personally. Jordan doesn't even get to think about the
Yeah.
outfield. You are a full time like the same way the Angels want to make Trout a full time DH. To me, Jordan Alvarez needs to be full time. You don't play any left field. I want you just taking practice swings and staying as healthy as you possibly can.
Well, did you hear the thing about Mike Trout, actually?
So they want him to play DH.
They want him to play right field at the bare minimum. But he said, I'm not doing that. I'm a center fielder. And so
So from when I initially heard it, I heard it was something about him wanting to DH or him not wanting to DH.
yeah, he wants to go back to center field.
Yeah.
So he basically said he felt out of place in the corner of the outfield. And he's like, I'm moving back to center. And you can't tell Mike Trout no whenever you owe him so much money.
It's kind of hard to tell a guy that's Mike Trout just makes me sad talking.
Yeah,
about
no,
him.
he could have been the greatest player of all time, and
literally.
then all the injuries, and it just sucks. Like he is so athletic and so competitive of a person. It's no fault of his own that he just got hurt being competitive.
He's just
it's the
too
same
tough
as
for his
David
own way,
Wright.
bro.
Same as David Wright. He got hurt being competitive, and it ended his career. David Wright at least got to have a somewhat healthy career to that point, but yeah, it happens to a lot of the most competitive guys. They'll do anything to win, and you get hurt a lot of the time doing that.
Yeah.
Going back to Jordan, by the way, and seeing his appearances, it looks like last year he split time, and it seems like every year it's kind of that. So half the season he plays in half the season he plays in left, other half he plays DH. So it just depends on the day and what they need.
Okay.
So they might go full DH next year, but that is where he kind of slots.
Personally, I prefer the DH role, but I also get it too. So.
Yeah. So for the NL, going there, East Division I think is going to be a lot of fun. I think the Braves are going to win it.
Ooh.
I do think the Braves are going to edge out the Mets. I think they're a really good overall team. Mets have some weak spots. Braves are just all around good. Spencer Strider will be back. Whatever the fucking Schwalbeck or whatever he'll be.
Schwallenbach.
Yeah, he'll be back. They're just a good team. They have one of the best managers in baseball. I think they're going to get it. The Mets obviously spending all this money. I think they'll be a wild card team, no doubt. But I think the East is going to be 2 90-win teams battling it out.
So this is where we differ. I think this is the first pick we actually differed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with the Fighting Phils.
You're going the Phillies.
I'm going Phillies. I feel like they're currently in run it back mode. Granted, they do have some pieces on the team I don't like. I will fully admit that. But I feel like if they can get it going, they can get it together, keep guys healthy, not have any dugout issues. I feel like that was kind of a thing with them last year. We kept hearing things about some new clubhouse issue with this guy. You have the commissioner coming in your thing and your star player cursing him out. Like, they had too much background noise. And I feel like if they can sort of quiet that down a little bit, I kind of like what Philly can do. Atlanta was my second pick. For some reason, I just cannot pick the Mets. I don't know why, but I feel like they just always choke whenever it matters the most.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they start off so great every time. They'll go mid-season, they'll be okay still, and then for some reason, somehow, some way, I feel like they just choke it away. So Phillies first, Braves second, but I'm picking Phillies.
The other team in that division is the Marlins, right?
Marlins and Washington, but
So,
neither team's really doing anything.
Here's a crazy pick that I think has a chance.
I think if you
to
say
happen.
Washington, I'm fighting you.
I think Phillies might end up in last place in that division.
Oh wow! Okay, explain. Can we get a reason?
Very old.
Fair.
Very much all those players have injury histories. Besides, Kyle Schwarber has an injury history, but he hasn't really had any issues since being in Chicago.
Fair.
And just the pitching staff is so bad. The defense is so bad. Their bullpen is great. Johan Duran, that's one of the coolest walkouts that we have right now for a closing pitcher in baseball, if not the coolest. But I just don't know where they get it done. They don't have any position where I'm that is the best player at that position. across the league. Like Trey Turner is not what he once was.
Of course not.
I think JT Realmuto is the best all around catcher, but he's not the best catcher. Like he's not the best hitting catcher. He's not the best defensive catcher.
JT's fall off kind of needs to be watched because it's like I feel like if he keeps trending in this direction, it's kind of.
I mean, it's just natural age and
Of
being
course,
a
of
position
course.
that's always squatting.
But
like,
I feel like he's going to get aged out is what
Yeah,
I'm, where
at some
I'm
point.
going at. Like I feel like the next season or two is kind of like a big deal for him.
yeah. But then Bryce too, always getting hurt. Like, I just the Phillies I think have the potential to have so much go wrong. Meanwhile, Washington and Miami can only go up. Like expectations can't be lower, and so I think it's easier to gain motivation and momentum with that team if you start winning a couple games. Meanwhile, Philly, like you said, they kind of self-destruct on themselves, and then an injury happens, they lose 5 games in a row, which Philly does, and then that 5 games in a row turns into 10 games to 15 games where they just can't figure it out together.
And that's why it was very hard for me to actually commit with them because I'm like, you guys lost pieces. You guys, as you said, they're an older group of guys, injury prone. Their pitching staff can't really stay healthy. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot more cons than pros, but I feel like when the pros hit, I feel like the pros are very strong with them. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like them, but I would say they're definitely the pick that I have the least faith in out of
That
all
makes sense.
my division winners. Like I feel like with that division, it's just as you said, those kind of 3 teams. Like, or sorry, even if you want to take out Philly, like Mets and who was it? Mets and Braves. I feel like they just have a lot more positive going on too. So I can see both.
Yeah.
I can see both. We'll switch it up. I'll go first for the NL Central. Go Cubs, go!
Yeah.
It's all I have to say.
Yeah, no.
I just like the Cubs, man.
I mean, I'm a Cubs fan, but I agree. I think all the teams in the Central, for the most part, didn't improve besides the Cubs.
And the Cubs made a splash.
Yeah, like Milwaukee trades away one of their best pitchers in Freddie Peralta. Some might say their best pitcher.
I would say their best. Well, the Miz. Well,
Yeah.
but the Miz is still young, so he's
Woodruff's there, right? He just got hurt.
Woodruff is there.
Yeah,
Woodruff is there.
That's who I was kind of debating was like Woodruff or Peralta. I think Woodruff just got hurt, but you lose Freddie Peralta. Like there's
That's definitely
hard to come back from that.
Yeah,
And I get you have Miz coming up, and that's why you do it to make that room. But I think that makes you worse, and I think that's the only team in the Central that could compete with the Cubs. The Reds are cool. They have Ellie De La Cruz and Matt McClain and all of that, but it's like, I don't know. I don't feel like they did anything to be better than the Cubs. The Cubs' only issue right now, obviously they added Alex Bregman. They added Edward Cabrera, which is where I say they got better. I think their bullpen has gotten worse. They need to make some moves in the bullpen to fix that situation. They traded Owen Casey, which is getting rid of their best prospect. And at this point, we have Bregman. I feel like you trade Matt Shaw away and find another good relief pitcher, or 2 if you can bring in 2. I'm not big on Matt Shaw. We just signed a third baseman to a very long-term deal. Yeah, I'm fine with it. And then everything else works out. Like we have Moises there to play DH, which is our youth player. He'll be fine. We have a decently good farm system that might not be any star players in it, but it's a lot of good role players for us to then later draft or sign stars.
As I say, I feel like
they're very well set up.
I feel like the stars are kind of like the least of the Cubs' worries, and as you said, like them just focusing on role players is kind of what they need to be doing. Just guys that can just help fill out the roster and be solid, either everyday guys or just solid platoon guys.
Yeah, fill in for an injury.
Yeah, exactly. And then I like the Cubs. I agree with everything that you said. I feel like no other team really did enough, if even really did anything.
Yeah.
I will give Pittsburgh credit for somewhat trying, but that's only because they have my guy Brandon Lau there. So That's the only reason why I'm a kind of well, not even him. They got Brandon Lau, Mangum. Yeah, they're technically the Pittsburgh Rays this year. So I will be keeping a little bit of an eye on Pittsburgh.
My thing with Pittsburgh, and we've talked about it, it's the same as the Athletics, except the Athletics, I think, did it more successfully at this point. Are
they just buy in on that?
They buy in whenever people are about to hit arbitration. So Paul Skeens is, I think, a year off from his arbitration year. So next year is another renewable. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I think next year is a renewable because this is that'll be 3 years. They're getting all of these guys that are going to be around 3 to 5 years, guys to bring in, which is going to be as Paul Skeens is getting arbitration and making a lot of money. I mean, Tariq Skubal just made absurd amount of money on arbitration, which is rightfully deserved for Tariq. Paul Skeens has to get more than that, in my opinion, whenever arbitration comes around. Maybe not that first year or second year, but definitely that last year. And that's whenever the Pirates are going to try and move him. They're going to be like, well, guys, we tried. We brought in all these players. And they do it every single time they have a start. They did the same with Kutch and everything like that. And once it doesn't work, they're like, all right, we have to trade. We have to get rid of everybody, and it's our only option because Bob Nutting does not want to spend money. And until he dies, they will not win anything. So that's me with Pittsburgh. And the Athletics and Washington.
It started off so calm, and then it's like, until he dies.
Yeah, I mean, that's the same as Jerry Reinsdorf. I'll maybe watch NBA again if Jerry Reinsdorf dies. But that's not a guarantee. I do just hate the NBA as of late. Lord. Yeah, Jerry Reinsdorf sucks.
Okay.
So does Bob Nutting.
I'm just gonna move on.
All right, the West.
I feel like both of us have the same answer.
Yeah,
it's not even a question, bro.
Any other answer is a wrong answer.
You are smoking PCP if you do
the
not
Colorado Rockies are going to win the West.
Zach Bean is about to have the MVP season, bro. 50 pounds of muscle, no more weed, bro.
Yeah.
No, get the fuck out of here. The Dodgers are definitely winning it. There's not even a question.
They might be a 120-win game,
bro,
or 120-win season.
Dude, it's like you look at their team and you can barely poke a flaw on that team. Granted, like they're just so loaded from top to bottom, one through 9 in your lineup. Your pitching staff, your 1 through 5 starters are loaded.
Yep.
Your whole bullpen's loaded. I feel like there's just...
They brought in Edwin Diaz. They brought in Kyle Tucker.
Like, you just cannot compete with a ownership group that is willing to do anything it takes to win.
Yeah, and...
Like, you just cannot compete with that.
People are going to always hate on the Dodgers because people hate to see success, of course. But people are going to point to them and be like, that's why we need a salary cap. Instead of pointing at the teams that are the problem. Yes. Teams like the Marlins, the Rays. Well, the Rays, I think, do it right. But the Marlins literally don't spend money. The Athletics don't spend money. Yeah. The White Sox don't spend money. The Rockies don't spend money. Like, those are the teams that are the reason for this.
And just to touch on this, like, while we're on the salary cap, no salary cap. Put a salary floor.
I think a salary floor is the best thing you could do to baseball.
You make these teams that are being stingy. They won't re-sign anybody. They're just literally just putting out a garbage team every year just to sell tickets. You give them a floor. You make them spend $100 million every year or whatever it is. Whatever you make off tickets and revenue sales, you gotta get a floor, man.
Yeah.
You have to get a floor. It's going to do nothing but make baseball better if you put a floor. No cap.
Yeah. And salary floor, I don't think that's the only thing that you have to implement. You have to implement fines for teams that don't reach certain things.
Yeah, like if you aren't spending enough, I agree. You should get hefty fines.
Well, I'm not talking about spending. Okay. I'm talking about if you finish last in your division 4 years in a row. You get a fine.
Okay, that's fair.
You don't make the playoffs for 8 consecutive seasons, you get a hefty fine. Like, all of these different things to be like, you have to field a team. You have to at least be trying to make the playoffs. Because I feel like in 8 years, Like, that gives every team plenty of time to have their entire farm system come up, their entire like ability to be like, okay, this isn't working. Let me pivot and trade for a star and move the pieces that I built in my farm system, and do that all of that. Like, I just don't think there's a way to do it besides finding these owners, because owning a baseball team will make you money no matter what, if you are winning or losing.
Right.
The Dodgers make money spending insane amounts in like tax for having the like payroll they do, and they still make money. The Rockies have some of the lowest attendance. The White Sox have some of the lowest attendance, but due to revenue sharing, they're getting some of that money from the Dodgers, and they're making absurd amounts of money. Like, it's just so stupid. You have to get rid of that. Get rid of that ability to be bad and make money.
Cash Mooney.
Cash Mooney.
I'm sorry, I had to. Since you said White Sox money, I had to make that joke. But no, I definitely agree. I was kind of lost about the whole 8-year playoff thing until you explained it, and I'm still on the fence with it, but I can 100% understand the logic on it, and I do agree with it. Like, I feel like it's kind of harsh, but also at the same time, it's like I also get it. Like, if you can't build a playoff team at least once in those 8 years,
Sell the team.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I feel like you can say it's harsh, but I don't care about the billionaires. I care about the owners, owner. I care about the fans that come out game in, game out, and watch this team play.
No, and that's why I technically agree with you, because when you think about it, if you can't field one playoff team in 8 years, there is a massive fucking problem.
Yeah.
There is a massive problem if you can't spend enough money, draft right, just do anything right enough to the point where you can field a playoff team. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
And even if you extend it to 10 years, fine. Like,
Nah,
something has to be in place.
I think 8's fine, just the way arbitration's already set up and contracts and everything. I feel like 8's fine. Like, 8's a perfect amount of time to where you gotta figure something out.
Also, get rid of 6 years. Add a restricted, unrestricted free agency thing. First 4 years of them being in the league.
Yeah, I feel like the way the NBA and NFL handles that is great. Like,
NHL does it too.
NHL does it too? Okay.
Well, NFL doesn't. They just have that 5th-year option, and then there's no unrestricted free agency. They can go wherever.
I mean, it's kind of the same thing to me. But I don't know. I'm not the biggest contract person either.
But yeah. And I will say, because I don't think I actually said it, the Dodgers will win the West.
Well, while we're here, I have Tigers, Dodgers, World Series. Ooh. Dodgers winning in 6. So.
I have Mariners versus Dodgers, and just like Cy Young and MVP, I say congratulations, Dodgers, once again. Even though, like I said, there is a lot of parity in the MLB, it's one of the most parity-filled sports, besides maybe the NHL right now. NFL too, I guess this year had a lot with like all the injuries and stuff. But even with all that parity, the best are still the best, and it will be the Dodgers. I do think Mariners get there. I think their pitching staff's really good. I think their defense is really good. Julio Rodriguez, I think, is going to have a big comeback season, which he didn't even have a terrible season last year. It's not Julio Rodriguez. But yeah, Dodgers probably win that in 5.
5. Well, okay, that's fair. I mean, like we both said, bro, the Dodgers, top to bottom, all 27, 40, whatever you want to do with the roster.
Yeah.
It's stacked, and good luck trying to beat them in a 7-game series.
Yeah, and like I said, I think they're going to win 120 this season. Like, I would not be surprised.
I mean, it's...
That's the best team ever assembled.
With how much talent there is, I agree. Like, it's honestly, like, the possibilities are really endless for this exact Dodger squad too. Like, it's just endless.
Yeah. All right. That's all I had for baseball. Do you have anything else?
Nope. I got who am I, and I am finished. I will not peek.
I forgot my guy.
How did you forget?
Because I looked at it a while ago.
Okay, all right. Do you want me to start with mine?
I'm ready, but you can start with yours.
Okay. So I will give you a league, and I will give you Okay, so I'll give you a league.
If you want to do league and position,
I'll give you league, college, and position.
okay.
So
That makes me already think this is NFL.
NBA.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
NBA. He went to UConn,
Okay.
and he is a shooting guard.
Brandon Lamb.
You are kind of on the right track,
Fuck.
but not Brandon Lamb. Would you like another hint?
Yeah.
Okay.
How many years did he play in the NBA?
He played. It's about like 9 seasons, 10. He was drafted in 2012.
Shabazz Napier.
No.
He's drafted in 2012. What team drafted him?
This will literally give it away.
Oh.
He has a animal in his name.
And he's a shooting guard from UConn.
Shooting guard, UConn, drafted 2012. He has an animal in his name, and he was known for being a guy that if he could stay healthy, he could have been like a sixth man of the year for a couple seasons. So injuries were definitely on his radar. I'm pretty sure one of them was like a nasty freak one too.
I just can't think of any now.
Okay, he got drafted to the Oklahoma City Thunder. If I give you anything else, I
And
have
it's
to
not
give you a
Brandon Lamb?
hint. You did not say Brandon Lamb.
Who did I say the first time?
You said I don't know, but it was you did not say Lamb.
I swear to God, I
You
said
did
Brandon
not say-
Lamb.
If you would have said Lamb, I would have been like, you are red hot. It's Jeremy Lamb.
Jeremy Lamb is his name. Damn it.
You said Brandon something, and I was like, you are not on. No, you said Shabazz Napier.
No, that was my second guess. Was Shabazz.
Oh, yeah, no. Jeremy Lamb was
Okay.
was my guy.
God damn.
Yeah.
I thought he was Brandon.
No, Jeremy. That was when you said we're bringing this back and we're doing a role player. He was the first guy for some reason that popped into my head because he was supposed to be a dog. He just kept getting hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you did league, position, and college. So
Yeah, which are very vague. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of tough as it is.
mine is the NFL.
Okay.
He went to the University of Maryland, and he's a tight end.
Who the fuck went to Maryland? Dude. I don't think I would ever get this. Okay.
Yeah, the college really doesn't help you. I didn't even know he went here.
Yeah. Okay. Can I get if I ask for what team drafted him? Will it tell too much?
Possibly, but
Okay.
I can say the year he was drafted.
That's fine. What year?
2006.
Holy shit. Okay. 2006. Was he a Pro Bowl level tight end or was he
Two-time.
Two-time. Went to Maryland. Okay. Antonio Gates isn't a role player, but he went to a basketball school, I'm pretty sure.
This guy kind of didn't start as a role player, but became one later in his career.
Okay. What color was his team that drafted?
Red. Like burgundy.
Cardinals. Bucks are not burgundy. No, so Cardinals. Chris Cooley.
No.
I don't know. I think Cooley went to Miami anyways. Now I think about it.
This guy was drafted by San Francisco. Vernon Davis.
Bro.
I knew like the second I said the team he was drafted by, you'd get it.
Because I'm like tight ends that were dogs that went to San Fran. The list is very small.
No, it's him and George Kittle.
Yeah, I was gonna say the list is so small.
I had no
Vernon
clue he
Davis.
went to Maryland.
I was gonna say once I said college, I was like, okay, like I'm probably not gonna get this, but I'm gonna just ask for it anyways. But that's all I got.
Yeah, that's all I got.
We back.
Fuck Robert Kraft. Fuck Bob Nutting. Fuck Jerry Reinsdorf. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah, R.I.P. Lou Holtz.
Oh, yeah, R.I.P. Lou Holtz. The only good thing about Notre Dame.
Yeah.
See you.
See you.